Welcome to this session on the introduction of biologics. This section designed to navigate the complex landscape of biopharmaceutical compliance. As regulatory professional, it is essential that we establish a strong foundational understanding of what biologics are, how they differ from the conventional pharmaceuticals, and why their regulatory treatment demands a uniquely rigorous and science-driven approach. Biologics are derived from the living organisms or contain the components of living organisms, and they are manufactured using advanced biotechnology platforms such as cell culture or recombinant DNA technology. Unlike small molecule drugs, which are chemically synthesized with high precision and reproducibility, biologics are inherently complex and heterogeneous. The comparison table on this slide highlights the five critical dimensions: size, structure, production, heterogeneity, and stability. Let's start with the size. Small molecules have low molecular weight. Biologics are very large molecules. Structure. Small molecules are structurally simple, whereas the biologics are structurally complex. Production. Small molecules come from chemical synthesis. Biologics originates from living sources including the proteins, viral vector, RNA, and DNA. Heterogeneity. Small molecule shows minimal batch-to-batch variation, whereas biologics exhibit high heterogeneity by nature. And stability. Small molecules are relatively stable, whereas biologics are highly sensitive to environmental conditions such as temperature, pH, shear stress. This fundamental distinction derives every downstream regulatory and CMC decision we make. Let's check some definitions given by the various health authorities. In the United States, biologics are defined under Section 351I of the Public Health Service Act. The definition encompasses a broad range of products including viruses, therapeutic serums, toxins, antitoxins, vaccines, blood component, or derivatives. Allergenic products and proteins with the explicit exclusion of the chemically synthesized polypeptides. This definition is critical from CMC regulatory standpoint because it determines the regulatory pathway. Biologics are regulated under a Biologics License Application (BLA) rather than a New Drug Application (NDA). The exclusion of chemically synthesized polypeptide is also a key distinction that can affect the classification decisions, particularly for peptide-based therapeutics. In Japan, biologics are regulated under Pharmaceuticals and Medical Devices (PMD) Act, and they are categorized into two tiers. First, biological products, Seibutsu Yurai Shihen, products derived from human or animal origin materials or from microorganisms or cultured cell. This is the broader category. Second, the specified biological products called Tokutei Seibutsu Yurai Shihen, a higher risk subset that includes the product with potential infectious risk, those derived from the human materials, and products requiring special traceability requirements. From a CMC regulatory perspective, the classification as specified biological product triggers additional obligations, including enhanced traceability documentation, post-marketing safety reporting, and stricter lot release requirements. This tiered framework reflects Japan's careful risk-based approach to biological products oversight. Next, in the European Union, the definition of biological medicinal product is established under Directive 2001/83/EC and reflected in the EMA guidance. A biological medicinal product is a product whose active substance is a biological substance, one that is produced by or extracted from a biological source, and that requires, for its characterization and quality determination, a combination of physicochemical and biological testing together with the production process and its control. This definition is particularly significant because it acknowledges the manufacturing process itself is integral to the product characterization. This is the foundation of well-established regulatory principle. The process is the product, which governs how we approach CMC dossier for biologics in the EU. Quality cannot be assessed by analytical testing alone. The process must be thoroughly defined and controlled. This slide provides an overview of the major categories of biologics that we encounter in CMC regulatory practice. Proteins, including recombinant proteins, monoclonal antibodies, antibody drug conjugates, ADCs, currently the largest and more matured segment. Vaccines, ranging from complete vaccines to subunit vaccines and protein and mRNA-based vaccines, a rapidly evolving area post-COVID. Oligonucleotides, including siRNA, aptamers, and the messenger RNA. Messenger RNA platform in particular have gained enormous regulatory momentum. Gene and cell therapies, including CAR T-cell therapies and stem cell therapies, these represents the frontier of biologics regulation, with rapidly evolving framework across all major agencies. Each of these categories presents a unique CMC challenges in terms of manufacturing control, analytical characterization, stability, and regulatory submission strategy. Biologics development follow a structured and highly interdependent life cycle. From a CMC regulatory standpoint, each stage feeds directly into regulatory submissions and must be carefully documented. Discovery, target identification and lead molecule selection, cell line development, establishment of stable, highly expressing production cell line, process development, upstream and downstream process optimization, analytical development, development and qualification of methods to characterize the molecule, clinical development, phase 1 through phase 3 trial with concurrent CMC evaluation, regulatory submission, preparation of BLA or MAA or JNDA dossier, life cycle management, post-approval changes, process improvement, and comparability studies. It is important to note that CMC activities run in parallel with clinical development, not sequentially. Delays or gap in any of these stages directly impact regulatory timelines and submission readiness. This slide highlights the key physicochemical and functional attributes that define biologic quality, all of which must be assessed as a part of CQ identification in QBT framework. Size, molecular size and aggregation state, charge. The charge variant arises from de-emitation, oxidation, or other modifications. Hydrophobic properties relevant to folding and aggregation behavior. Glycosylation, a major source of heterogeneity with direct impact on efficacy and immunogenicity. Substructure, quaternary structure integrity, disulfide bonding, critical for structural stability. Folding, correct three-dimensional conformation is essential for biological activity. Biological activity, the ultimate functional readout that must be linked back to a structure. From a regulatory perspective, these attributes must be monitored, controlled, and included in the control strategy submitted in the Module 3 of the CTD dossier. Any manufacturing change that may impact these attributes triggers our comparability assessment. Why process defines product? This is one of the most fundamental principles in pharmaceutical CMC regulations. Manufacturing understanding equals to product understanding. Biologics cannot be fully characterized by analytical methods alone. Their quality is defined by the manufacturing process. This means cell line characterization, genetic stability, productivity, and variant expression profiles must be thoroughly established and documented. Culture environment, Media composition, feed, strategy, and process parameter must be optimized and controlled within defined ranges. Purification architect, clearance of process and the product related impurities must be demonstrated within selectivity and robustness. Integrated control strategy, critical process parameter, critical quality attributes, in process controls, and analytical method must be systematically linked. The key regulatory principles stated on this slide is clear. A biologic cannot be fully characterized analytically, therefore, its quality is defined by its manufacturing process. This principle is embedded in ICH Q8, Q9, Q10, and Q11 and underpins how we build and justify our CMC packages globally. These slides bring together the major manufacturing and technology considerations that are directly relevant to regulatory filings: cell substrate and cell bank, selection and characterization of CHO cells, establishment of the master cell bank and the working cell banks, and their cryopreservation and management are critical regulatory requirements. CHO cells are preferred due to accumulated safety knowledge, high expression capability, and advanced genetic engineering tools. Manufacturing flow: cell culture, protein production, purification, isolation of target protein. Equipment: transition from traditional stainless steel system requiring CIP/SIP high capital investment to single-use system which offer flexibility, lower contamination risk, and are increasingly accepted by the regulators. QLT by design, QBD approach are being actively applied to biologics manufacturing, aligning with ICH Q8 through Q11. Formulation and the filling step: final formulation, sterile filtration, and aseptic filling are subject to strict regulatory controls. The critical reminder on this slide: manufacturing method at the GMP must match the approved regulatory filings. Any deviation or change must be assessed for impact and managed through the appropriate post-approval change management process. Biopharmaceutical development operates within multi-layered global regulatory framework. As CMC regulatory professional, we must be fluent across all major jurisdictions: United States, FDC Act, PHS Act 21 CFR Part 314, FDA guidance documents, and USP standards. For Japan, PMDA Act, PMDA guideline, regulatory notifications, Japanese pharmacopoeia, and the minimum requirement for biological product Japan, MRBPJ. For Europe, EU directives, EMA guidelines, Pharma Euro Global, the ICHQ series guidelines forms the backbone of harmonized CMC requirements from stability, impurity, pharmacopoeial harmonization, biologic specific guidelines Q5A to Q5E, specifications Q6B, GMP Q7, pharmaceutical development Q8, quality risk management Q9, pharmaceutical quality system Q10, development and manufacturing of drug substance Q11, and life cycle management Q12. Understanding how these frameworks interact and where regional differences remains is essential for building globally compliant CMC dossiers and managing the regulatory interactions effectively. Thank you. See you in next section.